I know it's pretty late, but before I knock out and everything, today was a very eventful day. Got hired at Ren Fair and start training tomorrow, and went to What was it?
Spookfest?
Spookfest in La Miranda or something like that. Some fucking place. It was good. It was fun. Got some cute things, but either way, excuse me. This night ended with me and my beloved other half and our very good friend Puppet, um, pretty much ending a domestic violence dispute. Um, we were on our way home. I feel very proud, and he feels very proud of himself too. He definitely has battle wounds. Um, well, we were driving on our way home, and as we stopped, I hear a guy end up like yelling, like very angrily. And I look to the side of my window, and I see this guy screaming at his girlfriend. And the last thing I see is him raise his fist up like he was going to hit her. And so I didn't see if he actually made contact or anything, I don't know. But we weren't going to let it continue. I immediately told Babe, and we U-turned it around. We parked our car. Babe and our friend Puppet got out, and they walked over. Mind you know, uh, Mr. Poole does carry a wrench sometimes for a steampunk cosplay. So he had grabbed the wrench just in case, things got really out of hand. You know. So he tells me to stay at the car. I stay at the car, I listen, and I watch. They both walk up. The couple is still there. He's still doing his thing. He has his girlfriend pinned up against the fence. And, he, at first calmly, he was able to separate them calmly until the guy saw the wrench and decided to go.
Oh, it wasn't when he saw the wrench.
Oh, it wasn't when he saw the wrench?
And he asked me if I was going to hit him. I told him no. It wasn't until she decided to tell him not to hit me because I had the wrench did he get aggressive. Because I stopped to look at her like, are you serious? And that's when he took the opportunity to hit me. Is because she decided to tell him not to hit me. When I said, I'm not going to do anything unless you get aggressive, he backed down. Every time he got more aggressive, she was the key that antagonized him. So keep in mind, they're not always victims of no accord. She did bring a lot of that on to herself. In fact, so much so that when we finally had the situation contained, we had the fellow in arm bars, held. He could not escape, under citizen's arrest. Both me and my friend Puppet. She was actually trying to take my hands off of him while the police were on their way. So sometimes it's pertinent to take control of both sides of the conversation. In fact, it almost always is. Because victims aren't always victims because they're targeted. Sometimes they do bring it on themselves. And you have to be aware of that going into the situation. Like this one. I actually had to shut her up several times to keep her from making the situation worse.
And just so you know, what he means by that, when victims aren't always, victims and it's brought on them, it's not that he's saying that whatever violence has happened towards her or anything like that, that is brought upon. But when somebody gets very massively angry, like, you're poking at a bear that you shouldn't be fucking poking at. And especially when this seems to be an ongoing thing between that couple. Very, very easily seen. Like, it was a dead giveaway. But just so that was clear, he's not saying that she deserves, to be hit or beaten or whatever. It's just sometimes you really just need to stop and let people handle the shit. Anyways, though, so that happened, and I ended up running over after I saw Mr. Poole go down. He went down, the guy was on top of him and trying to choke him, also yelling, "I'm going to fucking kill you." Granted, this dude is massively intoxicated. Don't know if he was on any other drugs or anything, but he was very, very drunk.
It wasn't like he was very drunk. He was coherent. This isn't somebody who's stumbling over themselves. His motor functions were stunted a little bit, but with my training in martial arts, I've learned to judge my opponents on the first touch. The second you make contact with them, you know what their skills were. This was a trained martial artist. He knew to go for the legs to sweep out from underneath me. The first hit was just a distraction for him to gain the upper hand. He succeeded in that. Fortunately for me, ground manipulation is one of my better skills, so the second I went down, I was able to keep him from gaining control of my neck. But this guy, again, he's not so intoxicated that he's stumbling over himself, that he's making a bunch of mistakes. He's a little bit slowed. So, yeah, he probably had a couple of drinks. Maybe he was on some kind of drug or something like that. He wasn't thinking clearly.
There are aggressive drunks.
There are aggressive drunks, but this guy wasn't sloppy drunk, is what I'm trying to say. He was intoxicated, but he wasn't... Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so I run over. Once I see him down, I see that he still has the crowbar in his hand. Did I say crowbar? Sorry. Wrench in his hand.
I'm not Mafia.
And the girlfriend is trying to get away from him. Get the wrench away. While he is down, our friend Brian is holding the guy's other arm. And the girlfriend is just really not helping. She's just not. And I understand why. You see your boyfriend get into a fight and everything, you just want them to stop. You don't want it to continue, you just want to fucking pull them off and just stop. It wasn't going that way. So I had to grab her, I had to wrap my arms around her and let her know that she needed to stop and back off. So she did, at least for a minute, and I was able to get the wrench away from everyone. And afterwards, immediately called 911. So I called 911, and when they had gotten there and everything like that, Mr. Poole and Puppet both had the guy restrained. Standing up, from my knowledge, the guy had lost control of his other hand due to our friend, and they were able to get Babe back up and put the guy in a holding. And as Babe said, the girlfriend was not helping still. She was just still antagonizing. Like, the guy started to say, this is not what I wanted and everything like that, Understandably, nobody wants that. Nobody fucking wants that, because it's just not cool and not fun. Domestic violence it's not easy. And a lot of people say, don't get in the way. It doesn't matter. Don't get in the way, you're going to get hurt. I understand that, but I'm not going to allow somebody else to get hurt. Especially on my dime. If I see it, I'm not going to walk past it. And that's exactly what we did today. The guy was arrested and everything like that. The girlfriend, was spoken to. All of us were spoken to and stuff. But we were able to stop something that could have possibly gone horribly wrong. In, honestly, every way. They were next to the street. Like, he could have gotten so pissed off at her that he just grabbed her by the arms and threw her in the middle of the street when a car was going by. You know? Some things are worth stopping. And for me, for Mr. Poole, for all of us, we will always do what we can. We will always stop that. We'll stop any type of violence. You know, it's that fucking thing. See something, say something. And there are times where you actually don't have to get in the middle of it. If you see something going on and everything, immediately call 911. If you know where you're at and everything like that. If you need to shout out that you're calling 911, do it. Go for it. Because if you don't do anything, there's a chance that person, something worse can happen. And, you know, it's, in my opinion, the thought that counts, because you tried and you did it. If they go back to that, that's their business in the end. But you at least intervene and hopefully opened up their eyes at least a little bit more. No matter what it is. But I just wanted to say, you know, say that tonight because I feel very accomplished. Even to having flashbacks of, you know, shit from my past. I do have PTSD and it's not fun. So immediately having a panic attack directly after when an officer is trying to talk to me, it's not fun. But, you know, I was able to tell them my side and everything, and we were all able to do that. And, you know, not all heroes wear capes. It's true. But, yeah. Babe's got a couple of battle wounds. And, you know, shit happens. But I'm glad we were able to stop it. Even if, you know, she does go back to him, that's her business. But right there, we stopped something. And, yeah. Proud of yourself, babe?
Yep.
I'm pretty proud, too. I know Puppet's I'm pretty proud. But, yeah. We're all tired. And we have an early day tomorrow. So, everyone, good night. And, you know, you guys are all awesome. So, don't stop believing in yourself. As cheesy as that is. Good night.